Here's your news for September 25th, 2019. The feud between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon has been going on for a while now, but it seems the beef between the two may be approaching its conclusion. After being fired by the best in the world 2 weeks ago, Owens retaliated last week with a $25 million lawsuit, claiming wrongful termination from McMahon. Last night, McMahon and his lawyers gave Owens a choice, that he could continue with the lawsuit or be instantly reinstated back into WWE. And while both options seemed viable for the former Universal Champion, Owens picked door number 3. Instead of either solution, the pair will meet in a ladder match where the loser will leave WWE for good. The match, which is expected to take place next Sunday at Hell in a Cell, will no doubt prove to be a brutal affair, as everyone knows McMahon's history of wrestling with heights. No matter the outcome, it seems this feud is finally going to end soon, and in the worst possible way for either Kevin Owens or Shane McMahon. More SmackDown Live news now, as it seems the old Daniel Bryan has returned to the show. This week's episode of The Blue Show kicked off with the Eco Warrior facing his old tag team partner Rowan, as the 20-minute bout was a good match for Bryan's standards and a great one for Rowan. Though the match was a great way to open the show, things did get awkward during it, as Bryan's foot got caught in the ropes for a long period of time, though the Yes Man was eventually able to escape and continue. As the pair traded offense, it would be Luke Harper who would make the difference, as Rowan would get yet another victory over a former world champion thanks to his Bludgeon Brothers teammate. After the match, the pair would continue their beatdown on Bryan, who was saved by Roman Reigns, and though Bryan refused to shake the big dog's hand, he did get a yes chant out of the SmackDown crowd. While Bryan and Roman may not be on the same page just yet, hopefully the two former world champions can get along at Hell in a Cell, as it was announced during SmackDown that the pair will team to face the Bludgeon Brothers. More news from the final episode of SmackDown Live on the USA Network, as the show helped set up for next week's huge debut on Fox. During this week's show, news broke of a huge tag team match for next week, as Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch will team with her old nemesis and friend Charlotte Flair to take on SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley and Sasha Banks. This match will be a rematch from the dark match that took place after WWE Raw ended yesterday. Becky Lynch and Charlotte defeated Sasha Banks and Bayley after Lynch submitted Bayley with the armbar to send the crowd home happy. This rematch comes just days away from Lynch defending her Raw Women's title against Banks inside Hell in a Cell on October 6, and a segment between the two ended with Lynch getting attacked by the Boss during a backstage interview. Banks and Bayley were also able to defeat Charlotte and new 24/7 champion Carmella during the show, though Lynch was able to save Charlotte from a post-match beatdown by the Boss and Hug connection. Next week's 20th anniversary celebration of the Blue Brand will also feature Brock Lesnar challenging Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship in what will be Lesnar's first match on SmackDown in over 15 years. The last time Lesnar wrestled in a SmackDown ring came on the March 5, 2004 edition of the show, where he defeated Bob Holly, and though a lot has changed since the Beast faced the Hardcore One, Lesnar's desire to be champion remains the same. Chad Gable news now, and though the former Olympian may have come up short in the King of the Ring tournament finals, Gable is quickly proving all his doubters wrong. On the most recent SmackDown Live, Gable recapped some of the short jokes that have been made against him by King Baron Corbin, though instead of the King, got confronted by former 24/7 champion Mike Kanellis. Kanellis hasn't exactly had an easy time recently either, with his wife's baby not being his, but that didn't stop Mike from making some short jokes of his own, and claiming that he'll prove to Maria that size does matter. These comments weren't taken well by Gable, who completely dominated Kanellis for the entire match. After dropping Kanellis with a belly-to-belly suplex and following that up with a German, Gable would get the submission victory thanks to the ankle lock, shades of fellow Olympian Kurt Angle. A big win for Gable, the former tag team champion had little time to celebrate, as he was interrupted by Elias on the Tron, who had a song for him. In typical Elias fashion, the song started out nice enough, with the singer claiming Gable's story had inspired him, but quickly boiled down to mocking Gable's height, something that many have done over the past couple of weeks. Though Elias isn't the first superstar to mock Gable's height, he may be the last after the Olympian gets his hands on him, and while a match between the two hasn't been confirmed, expect Gable and Elias to square off soon, perhaps at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on October 6th. We've got some WWE 2K20 news now, as with the game drawing near to its launch next month, the company is releasing videos of entrances of several stars in the game. On Tuesday, WWE released a video on their YouTube channel to promote the ninth wonder of the world, Chyna, who will be making her debut in the 2K series when the game launches on October 22nd. The description for the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion says, "The ninth wonder of the world makes her first appearance in the WWE 2K series in WWE 2K20. Take a first look at Chyna's entrance from the video game, which releases on October 22nd. Though many have praised the video for capturing Chyna's unique entrance, complete with her pyro gun, a very vocal portion of the online community haven't been fans, with some comparing the character design to prior games, and others suggesting they could create a Chyna with a better likeness. Though it's true that the model could look better, just the fact that Chyna is getting into a WWE game at all is a big deal, as it seemed this would have never been possible just a few years ago." Onto AEW news now, and with the promotion's launch on TNT just 1 week away, Cody Rhodes recently shared a heartfelt message on social media documenting his journey. In the post, Cody thanked the fans for their support over the years, and spoke about his passion for wrestling being ignited by the likes of PWG, Colt Cabana, and many others. The former NWA World Champion even praised WWE in the post, as well as financier Tony Khan, and it seems Rhodes is certainly ready to take the wrestling world by storm on TNT next week. Impact Wrestling news now, and with the promotion's parent company Anthem Sports being bought by Access TV, it seems the show finally has a permanent home. Not only that, but it's been reported that Impact will be moving from the Friday night spot, thanks in part to SmackDown moving to Fridays on Fox, and Impact will instead take SmackDown's old spot on Tuesdays, with specials taking place from October 1st. A This Is Impact special is scheduled for October 22nd, which will recap the company's biggest event of the year, Bound for Glory, followed by the show airing each week on Tuesday from the 29th. It's certainly interesting to see Impact take SmackDown's old spot on Tuesdays, and time will only tell whether they'll be able to rope in some of the WWE universe this way. Back to WWE now, and though Braun Strowman wasn't the intended target of the Fiend this week, the monster among men got the brunt of the abuse. During the main event between Strowman and Seth Rollins, Wyatt made his presence felt, attacking Strowman with the mandible claw, but has apologized on Twitter. This apology didn't sit too well with Strowman, who told Wyatt he isn't the same boy the former world champion brought to WWE 3 years ago. With that said though, Wyatt gave an equally chilling warning, telling Strowman that he too had changed, and even pleaded with Strowman to stay away. Since returning to WWE, The Fiend has been an unstoppable force, though with Wyatt pleading for his old protege to stay away, could it be that The Fiend is more powerful than its host Wyatt? Only time will tell. Lacey Evans' feud with Natalya continued this week on Raw, and though the sassy Southern Belle didn't wrestle the third-generation superstar, Evans sent a clear message. Instead facing Ember Moon, Evans attempted a sharpshooter of her own, and though she got the submission win, she didn't get all of the hold locked in. Natalya was quick to call Evans out on the botch, though this wasn't a planned spot according to Wrestling Observer Radio, so it's good to see Natalya was able to think on her feet. This is just the latest escapade between the two, as Evans was recently pulled over in Canada by an officer Natalya hinted was related to her, and though the former Marine claimed the incident was staged, we're not so sure. We'll have to see whether Evans will be able to master the sharpshooter eventually, and this could actually make for a nice little story between the two superstars. More news from the WWE's women's division next, as while Sasha Banks just returned from a lengthy hiatus from the company, it seems she needs another break. Though a recent WWE Chronicle explained that Sasha took her break after being burnt out, the boss was quick to request another one, tweeting out, "I need a vacation," just 1 day after defeating Nikki Cross on Raw. Many fans were quick to point out that Banks just came back from months away, though the boss did get a busted lip during her match with Cross, which she was quick to highlight on social media. With the caption, "Vince sent me to the best doctor," it seems the boss isn't quite done making demands, and at the very least got to show off her Protect tattoo on her lower lip. Banks will certainly need to be fighting fit by next Sunday, as she will compete inside Hell in a Cell against Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, becoming the first woman to ever return to the barbaric structure. Speaking of Hell in a Cell, one superstar who knows all about the match is Kane, who debuted during the inaugural Cell match back at Bad Blood in 1997. Recently, Kane was interviewed for WWE's Untold Stories and revealed a story about the greatest part of being a superstar. The former world champion said that a couple of years ago he was at a concert when he was approached by a woman who showed him a picture of the Big Red Machine and a young boy at a hospital. The legendary superstar recalled visiting the boy and got very emotional when he revealed that this was the last picture the mother took of her son before he passed away. The usually demonic Kane was in tears by the end of the video, and understandably so, as he said out of all the success being a wrestler has given him, getting to connect and bring joy to people is the greatest gift of all. This week's edition of Monday Night Raw was the show's apparent season finale, and this may have influenced the rating of the Red brand. The show drew a 1.69 rating, up slightly from last week's 1.64 rating, though it wasn't all good news. Despite the ratings being up, the viewing figures were down, as Raw drew an average 2.21 million viewers for the show, down slightly from last week's 2.272 million. It'll be interesting to see whether next week's season premiere will change that, as the company has already announced an appearance by Brock Lesnar just days ahead of his WWE title match against Kofi Kingston on SmackDown's launch on Fox. Speaking of SmackDown, this week's show had a lot of action, though it's a backstage rumor that's got a lot of fans talking. According to reports from this week's show in San Francisco, 205 Live will be shifted to Fridays at 10 p.m. on the WWE Network starting next week on October 4th. That means the plan is for the Purple brand to still be taped immediately after SmackDown goes off the air, despite reports not long ago that the show was being cancelled. According to Triple H, who spoke in a Newsweek interview, 205 Live will now fall under the NXT umbrella, as it seems the show will now be headed by NXT's creative team, and given the success of the developmental brand, that may be the best thing to happen for the cruiserweights. And finally, we're looking at former WWE superstar Victoria, who has wrestled her final match. Victoria, real name Lisa Marie Varon, announced last January that 2019 would be her final year in the ring, and confirmed in a social media post this past weekend that a recent Masters of the Ring Entertainment appearance was her final time she would compete as a wrestler. Varon is best known for her time in WWE, where she became a two-time women's champion, but had even greater success in TNA, becoming a 5-time Knockouts champion and 1-time Knockouts Tag Team champion as Tara. Victoria had plenty of praise for so many stars who have helped her, including fellow female stars like Melina, who she wrestled her last match with, and Terry Runnels, who presented her with the More Women's Wrestling title shortly before her retirement. Victoria would also go on to thank everyone in the More team, from the photographers to the referees to the fans, as it seems the former women's champion is ending her career on a high, and is happy to do so.